Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Michael, Matt, down in the underground. Good to see you, Rob.
It's good to see you.
Boy, it's been a while.
It's been way too long.
Here we are. We have the Synod on Young People, which is underway right now in the Vatican. And it's really exciting, of course. I don't know, the whole Catholic Church has become a kindergarten because the Catholic Church is being run right now by a kindergarten. I don't know what else to say. That's actually charitable on old Pope Francis. I don't know what's going on with this guy, but everyone is so sick and tired of that dog and pony show in the Vatican that they don't even want to look at it or think of it. I know that's the way I am. I mean, this is a lame duck synod on young people being conducted by, let's face it, a lame duck pontificate, a lame duck pope now, crippled by, among other things, other scandals, these massive accusations leveled by Archbishop Carlo Maria Viganò. So he's going to go ahead and ramrod this stupid synod on young people through no matter what. You know, it doesn't even matter that in the wake of this massive, massive clerical sex scandal, many voices were calling for the synod to be canceled, including that of Archbishop Charles Chaput of Philadelphia, who back in September, you'll remember, said that the bishops have lost all credibility. They have no credibility. He sent a letter to Pope Francis asking the Pope to cancel the synod and instead spend the money that they would have spent. They're spending millions of dollars on this synod, and Archbishop Chaput suggested using those funds to find some way of properly straightening out the bishops. Did you follow this, Rob?
No.
I mean, it's so embarrassing. These men are so embarrassing now. So Chaput's like, I don't know about a synod on young people. Maybe we should try to figure out what's wrong with the bishops. Needless to say, nobody was listening to guys like Archbishop Chaput. Nobody cared. They tried to shut him up, just like they shut Burke up, just like they're trying to shut Viganò up. Even though, you know, some pretty mainstream folks, such as Vatican veteran journalist John Allen, are coming right out with it. The other day at crooks.com, he came right out and said, quote, "The church faces perhaps its gravest crisis since the Protestant Reformation in the form of a worldwide clerical sexual abuse scandal." This is John Allen saying that. We have not seen anything like this in 500 years in terms of crisis. And then Allen also noted that the eyes of the Catholic world will be on how the Vatican chooses to engage this crisis. And at this point, they're not engaging it at all. I don't know what they're doing over there.
Preciso. Ora hai tutto, hai il paradiso. Ora ho tutto, ho il paradiso. È fatta, hai detto sì, sarà per sempre, forse più. Perdiamoci nel vortice di luce e corro, arrivo da...
You know, I mean, we were Rob and I, we covered the synod in Rome the last time, and I expected actually to be there again for this latest synod on young people. But I'm just not sure what the point of it is anymore. What's the point of going over there to Rome and cover what these maniacs are doing? Francis said he was going to change the church so that it could never be changed back. He promised that he would change the church so it could never be changed back. And now he's making good on that promise. Don't you see? There's no point in denying this anymore. In fact, he's over there right now, today, essentially babbling nonsense at the Synod on Young People. Now, if that sounds harsh, I'm sorry, but that's what he's doing. I have no idea what this man is talking about, so to me, it looks like babbling nonsense. But we've got the tape. We're going to let you decide what in thunder is Pope Francis talking about. Check this out.
The Synod on Youth will test the ability of the bishops to unite generations and mentalities. Pope Francis asked the Synod Fathers two things. The first request is to let go of their selfishness, to listen.
Okay, stop the tape right there. So, let me get this straight. The Synod Fathers need to let go of their selfishness, and they need to listen. They need to listen to the kids. Whatever it takes, we need to listen to the very people now. We refuse to lead and educate and edify in the past 50 years. We need to listen to them. Now, most of them have taken off, these young people. They left the church. The vast majority of them are gone. They're checked out, of course. But there are still few of them banging around the Catholic Church, and Francis and company think we got to listen to these guys and change the church based on their opinion, which is based on total lack of formation in Catholic teaching. And what in heaven's name are we listening to them for? This makes no sense at all, and yet that's Francis's game plan at this point. Why? Because he knows when you listen to the people who are lost, you're going to get more lost, and you can blame the kids. So they can take the church wherever they want and say, well, this is what the young people wanted us to do, so we need to do it. It's just a joke.
Questo atteggiamento ci difende dalla tentazione di caere in posizioni eticistiche o elitarie.
All right, stop it right there once again. Moralistic and elitist positions? Here he goes again, Francis, with his class warfare that sounds a lot like something he got right out of Saul Alinsky or right out of Barack Obama's playbook. Francis is referring here to the infallible teachings of Mother Church as elitist positions, folks. Elitist positions. The infallibly defined dogmas of the deposit of faith, which he's sworn to defend, those are now derided as moralistic. We don't want to be constrained by moralistic dogmas. The ancient tenets of moral authority of the Catholic Church need now to stand down to the demands of the kiddies hanging out in Rome, chit-chatting with cardinals, most of whom can't even keep their hands off the kids these days, it seems, judging from all the accusations we see going around. You see how insane this is? And this is the pontificate of Pope Francis. Let's have a little more.
Come pure dall'attrazione per ideologie astratte che non corrispondono mai alla realtà della nostra.
Stop it again. Abstract ideologies that never touch the realities of our people. What in the heck is this man talking about? This is the faith that built Christendom and formed the greatest saints and doctors and virgins and martyrs in history. But that faith fails to touch the realities of our people now, according to Pope Francis. If that's the truth, whose fault is that? The Catholic faith itself is no longer meaningful for our peoples? This is what he's saying? And then besides that, I thought the new evangelization had fixed all this. I thought everything was great now in the Church of Vatican II, the Church of Accompaniment. Now the faith, nothing touches the people. What are we going to do? Shut up and listen to the kids who don't know anything? That's their game plan? The new evangelization apparently wasn't the home run we were told. I don't think it was a home run, but they were telling us for the past 25 years that it was. Not so much. Let's see a little bit more.
The second request he asks for is creativity, being dynamic and fleeing from "it has always been done like this" mentalities to find solutions that help young people realign with the church. Recalling passages from the Old Testament, he said that young people's ability to dream will depend to a large extent on their elders.
Risvegliare e rinnovare in noi la capacità di sognare e sperare.
Okay, now do you see what I mean by psychobabble, papal psychobabble? Creativity, being dynamic, and fleeing from this attitude that we've always done it like this? Is he saying that we have to reject the idea that doctrine also falls into this attitude of, if it's always been done like that, well, we need to change it and do it a different way? And then he talks about young people's ability to dream. And young people's ability to dream is going to depend on their elders to dream? What is this, Neil Diamond? Jonathan Livingston Seagull? The Holy Father is really concerned that young people throughout the world need to have some leadership on how to dream? What does dreaming have to do with the sweat of your brow or the narrow gate or the four last things? I mean, is anyone taking this man seriously? You see why I say, to me, it seems like he's babbling nonsense? It's just revolutionary nonsense. Anything but reassert the teachings of the church. I think I have one more little snippet of this, and that should do it. Let's take one more shot at this.
Perché sappiamo che i nostri giovani saranno capaci di profezia e di visione nella misura in cui noi, ormai adulti o anziani, siamo capaci di sognare.
Okay, that's it. I'm done. We know that our young people will be capable of prophecy now, says the Holy Father. You getting this, Rob?
Yeah, it's
Capable of prophecy.
pretty sweet.
Isn't that nice? Young people will be capable of prophecy and vision to the extent that we, who are already adult or elderly, can dream. We'll show them how to dream. I think they're just mocking us now. I don't know what else you could call this. He's mocking us. They're mocking the church. Arguably, they're mocking God, because this is the Vicar of Christ babbling here. Has there ever been a pope in history? Now, remember, think about this. I'm not picking heresy here. I could dig up some heresy that Francis said and throw it out there from the underground. No, this isn't heresy. I don't know what this is. This is an example of what I'm talking about. The church is being run by a kindergartner. This is a disaster, a crisis in leadership. When you think what the church is going through right now, in the eyes of the world and the media and everywhere else, a massive, massive scandal that John Allen says is unprecedented in 500 years. And the Pope, when he gets the cameras going in Rome and gets his bishops together, starts babbling about dreams and prophecy. I mean, maybe in fairness, he's in his dotage. Maybe he needs some St. John's wort. I don't know. But this is a crisis, folks. Even if you love the man, this kind of leadership that we're seeing right now represents a crisis. So what we need to do as Catholics, trying to figure this all out, we need to come up with some sort of Operation Catholic Survival strategy. We need to find a way to keep the faith until God removes this occupation, this occupying force from our buildings, from our church. What's needed now is serious, organized Catholic counter-revolution. How do we do our part to kind of keep the faith in the middle of a time when we do not have adequate leadership, when we have utterly inept leadership all the way at the top in the Catholic Church? And we can all agree on that. We don't even have to call him a heretic or the anti-pope or anything else. Utterly inept leadership right now that is causing the Catholic Church, as far as the world is concerned, to lose all respect and to be completely undermined at a very dangerous time in history. So I think this whole thing starts with supporting the men who are resisting Francis. That's the first thing we do as lay people. We need to make our case, and we need to stand with them as they resist the most dangerous pontificate in history. So we need to pray for these guys, first of all, especially Archbishop Viganò. Right now, we need to pray for him, because he's the best chance that the church, humanly speaking, that we have of stopping the Franciscan bulldozer. And far from backing away and making excuses for his earlier, accusations, Archbishop Viganò dug in last week and came out with a 4-page bombshell that restated his initial accusations of abuse and cover-up against Pope Francis and other powerful members of the hierarchy. He's not going away. He's not backing down. And he even concludes that 4-page letter, Archbishop Viganò does, with a suggestion that Pope Francis is beginning to act like a substitute for our Lord rather than the vicar of our Lord. Friends, don't let this just wash over you. This is unprecedented language from an archbishop to the Holy Father. Unprecedented resistance. And we need to get on this bandwagon. We cannot allow them, the folks in the Vatican and the media, and their accomplices in the media, to ice Archbishop Viganò. We can't let them wait him out. Serious Catholics need to stand with Viganò, not just initially when it was all kind of exciting and new and all over the news, but now it's going to get tough. We need to stand with this man over the long haul, for days, for months, for years, whatever it takes. We cannot let this story go away. Archbishop Viganò is fighting for the very survival of the human element of the Catholic Church. He's fighting for us. He's fighting for our kids. God help us. We need to stand with him and thank God for him every day. Pray for him every day and wish him every blessing and heavenly consolation and encouragement as he undergoes this persecution. For finally, being one of the very few over the past 50 years, the few bishops, few churchmen who had the guts, the faith, the hope, and the love to stand up and say no to the modernists who are running our church into the ground. God bless him. God bless you, Your Excellency. Mary keep you. And we, traditional Catholics, we are with you. We stand with you. Don't back down. Please, God, Your Excellency, stay strong, and we will stand with you. This we vow. I'm Michael Matt for the Remnant Underground. Pray for Archbishop Viganò. Pray for Pope Francis. Pray for this ridiculous synod that it comes to an end soon, and we'll see you next week.